It's 8:07. It's 8:07. Welcome. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. My name is Gospel Jafedu, and I'm a life coach, I'm a Forex trader, and to the glory of God, so many people have graduated from this academy. And I must say that I'm happy to have you here today because despite our busy moments, we still find time for this program. And I'm sure that to the glory of God and by the grace of God, you all shall benefit from this program. I'm very, very sure of that. So let's start. What do we have for, how is this program going to go like? How is this program going to go like? For day one, which is exactly today, we'll be talking about introduction to Forex trading. Then we will now look into exchange rates. We will talk about fundamental analysis. We will talk about technical analysis. Are you with me? So, and after that, what else are we going to be looking at? After that, we will now go into day two, which is tomorrow. I don't advise any of you to miss tomorrow's class. We'll talk about pips, lots, leverage. We'll talk about platforms and charting softwares, talk about brokers, types of traders, technical analysis. Then we'll talk about candlestick and trends, indicators, so on and so forth. Day three, which is tomorrow. On Wednesday, what do you think we're looking at? MetaTrader 4, Android and desktop version. We'll talk about how to use MetaTrader 4. We'll look into how to open trades using MetaTrader 4. We'll look into lot size. We'll talk about partial closing. We'll look into trade stopping. We'll look into swing trading, and we'll look into hedging. The last day, which you'll call on Thursday, what did you think we are looking at? We'll talk about my FX book, investing.com, Forex Factory, so on and so forth. We'll look into all of this. So let's start today. Let's start today. What do we have for today's? For today, we're looking into Forex trading. What's Forex? In other words, even if you don't have an idea of Forex, you are still going to benefit from it. Even if you have no idea of what we are going to do here, you are still going to benefit from this. Let's start. What is Forex? Forex is simply the largest financial market where currencies are bought, sold, and exchanged for one another. Unlike the stock market, it has no centralized exchange, and transactions are performed over the counter. That is, participants trade with one another through a worldwide network of banks, brokers, and other financial institutions. Now, class, if you think I'm like, go and make your research. The daily amount of money that is dropped in the forex market is actually $5 trillion. I'm not saying that you're going to make $5 trillion. What I'm saying is, on this $5 trillion, you are going to have, there's every tendency that you can make some dollars daily, which people, they usually do. So now, there are actually sections or time zones. We have the London, New York, Tokyo, Zurich, Frankfurt, Hong Kong, Singapore, Paris, and Sydney, depending on the exchange active during a specific time. One can distinguish between three trading sections, which is Asia, Europe, America. Are you with me? And now, what exactly do you do in the forex market? In the forex market, you either buy or you sell. In the forex market, you either buy or you sell. If you look at the animal that is on green, that is an indication of buy. Look at the other animal that is on sell, that is an indication of what? Sell. Are you with me? So the bull and the bear, they're always in charge in the forex market. Don't worry. In subsequent classes, you understand it is. Some people, they like to represent their bull with a bullish candle, which is blue color. But some people, they like to indicate theirs with what? With a red candle, which is what's a bearish candle. Let's proceed. Now, who trades Forex? Who are those that have the right to trade Forex? The first body that trades Forex are the central bank. The central bank, example of the central bank are the European Central Bank, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Bank of England, Bank of Canada. Then the other subordinate banks that assist are the commercial banks, in which are Eco Bank, Keystone Bank, Polaris Bank, Guarantee Trust Bank, JP Morgan. Now, all these banks, they trade Forex. And the other people that trade Forex are the investment managers and hedge funds, but national corporations. There are some firms that what they do is they help people to trade. So they can tell you that Mr. Chief, bring 500,000 naira. At the end of the month, you get 100,000 naira. But if you go through this training, you are consistent. I'm not saying those people, they are not doing well, they are doing well, but to be able to trade yourself, don't you want to know it yourself? I'm sure you want to. Now, I have a flowchart. The flowchart shows that there are several sections that are responsible majorly for this market. The central bank, they're actually in the middle. These people, what do? They actually stand as the middleman. Just like we have C. Ronaldo now in Man U. We have Messi in PSG. Are you with me? So all these, they are strong men, and they are what? They are like the middlemen. They stand exactly in the Forex market. Are you with me? Now, you'll be wondering, who else can trade this market? Multinational corporations, like I said. You see there, you have the major bank. Major bank is also there. Now, another set of body that can trade this market are the individual investors. I repeat, the individual investors. The individual investors can trade this market successfully. The individual investors are exactly you and I. You and I, that we know that how much do we even have in this market? Are you with me? And because of that, what happens? The brokers will now connect you and I to trade in the financial market. My next phase, what I like to talk about is, now, after that, if you observe, let's go straight to currency. You know, when you say a currency is more or less like when you say, like the way you have Nigeria currency, it's just like a fiat a particular country use. When you say a fiat means what is spent in notes. You know, there are some transactions you make online. They will tell you fiat currency. Example of fiat currency is Naira, USD, Euro, so on and so forth. So now, there are two types or two parts of a currency in Forex. You have the base currency and you have the put currency. You have the base currency and you have the put currency. The first listed currency of the currency pair is called the base currency. And the second currency is called the put currency. Currency pairs compare the value of one country to another. Currency pair compares the value of one currency to another. Now, the base currency is always the first listed currency. Are you there? The base currency is always the first listed currency. Now, if you look at it so closely, I have Euro USD. The base currency is Euro. The other currency, which is the USD, is the quote currency. The base currency is Euro, and the other currency is the what? Quote currency, which is USD. The next one I have here is GPP. The next one I have here is what? Is GPP AUD. The first currency is GPP, while the second currency is AUD. I repeat, the first currency is GPP, while the second currency is AUD. The last one I have here is XAU USD. XAU USD is an indication of gold versus United States dollars. Now, in Forex, there are several things you trade. You trade the stock, you trade the crypto, you trade the futures, you trade the index, which you see as the indices, you trade Forex. So, X, you trade metals. XAU is metals. Sorry, I'm not intimidating. In those days, when we used to have what they call it, in those days when we used to have chemistry, science, when you are science inclined, there's what they call symbols in the periodic table. There you have gold, AU, you have silver, AG. Now you have copper, which is also a metal, second best conductive metal of electricity and heat. So that's how this is. Gold. Gold has its symbol, which is XAUUST. Now, the next one I'd like to talk about here is exchange rate. Now, maybe I should give a general example to the class. Now, I need everybody to use the chat box or the message box. Now, if I have something like CHFJPY, CHFJPY is Swiss franc versus Japanese yen. CHFJPY is Swiss franc versus Japanese yen. So can you tell me the base currency and the quote currency here? Use the chat box. CHFJPY is CHFJPY is what? CHF is Swiss franc and JPY is Japanese yen. Are you with me? So I need you to use the chat box, which I know some many people are having network issues here, but please use the chat box. CHF JPY, Swiss franc versus Japanese yen. Please use the chat box. I'm waiting. If you want to unmute yourself, good. Unmute yourself and speak. Oh, this is very smart. Somebody, Mr. Joaquin Abaji, said that the base currency is CHF. So obviously, the quote currency is JPY. That's very smart of you. Thank you so much. I love that response. So let's proceed. The next one I'd like to talk about is exchange rates. The next one I'd like to talk about is exchange rate is the rate at which one country's currency will be exchanged for another. Exchange rate is the rate at which one country's currency will be exchanged for another. Now, it is also regarded as the value of one country's currency in relation to another currency. One believes that one currency will rise against another currency we buy, and the strong currency we sell the weak currency. Now, another reason why exchange rate moves so fast may result to multi-billion naira worth companies that need to convert large amounts of money into another country's currency. I want to say something with you. If, for instance, I want to buy spare parts in Japan, Toyota, Japan is a very good supplier of that. If, for instance, I want to buy spare parts in Japan, I might tell you that, okay, since I want to buy spare parts in Japan, I want to go to Japan and buy this item. So once I get to Japan, what do you think will happen? My naira here will be converted to yen. For instance, I have 2 million naira, which I'm taking to Japan, and when they did the conversion, it led to 1 million yen, not 1 million naira now. So if it leads to 1 million yen, then it means that I am now going to boldly take that and deposit in Bank of Japan. I'm now going to take that. Whenever a major deposit is done in the forex market, there's always a pool. That pool is so heavy. Are you with me? There's always a pool, and that pool is so heavy. It surely affects the market. It can be positive, it can be negative. Let's do something very little here. Come with me. Let's do something on my screen. Now, if I have Euro USD, for instance, if I have Euro USD, let's say the Euro USD, I'm assuming, please, Euro USD give me, Euro is big. Let's say Euro is 600 and USD is 400, which I know is not possible. Zeros cancel zeros. 2 here 3, 2 here 2, and that leads to what? 3 divided by 2 is what? 1.5700. Now, if that occurs, I can now come here. If that occurs, I can now come here and say, since my Euro USD gives me 1.5000, that is exactly what it gives to me. So what do I do here? Plus, since that led to that, what do I do? Let's say, who is in the house? Let's say somebody like Mr. Welcome, Mr. Lawson. Welcome, sir. So let's say somebody like Mr. Joaquin now comes to that. Mr. God's power. Since I have this, then what is the next phase? I'll just tell the man that since it is 1.5 now, or rather, let's say the man gives me a call. Mr. Joaquin calls me that, Mr. God's power, Euro has increased to 700 in the Forex market. Of course, if Euro has increased to 700, it means that 400 is reducing. Let's say I am not capitalizing on the code currency. I'm just using one phase. Let's say for this, it was 400. Zeros cancel zeros. 7 divided by 4. Your mathematics, that should be 1.7 divided by 4. That should be 1.75000. 1.75000. Then let's see, remember, Euro increased from 600 to what? To 400. Euro increased from 600 to what? To 700 rather. Then let's say now Euro dropped in the market. Let's say somebody like Madam Faith. Welcome. I know she's just coming. So like Madam Faith notifies me that Euro dropped in the market. Let's say Euro now dropped in the market from 600 to 500. $500 divided by 400. Zeros will kill zeros. If that is done, 500 divided by 400 is what? That's 1.25000. Now look at it, class. If whenever in the Forex market, the base currency increases, whenever the base currency increases, what do you do, class? You buy in the Forex market. Whenever in the Forex market, the base currency increases, what do? You buy in the Forex market. Now, vice versa, class. Whenever the base currency reduces, what do? You sell in the Forex market. Whenever the base currency reduces, you sell in the market. I know some people will be like, how come? Well, this is my analysis behind it. In the Forex market, in the crypto world, Bitcoin, when Bitcoin increases, what do you think some smart people do? They quickly sell. They sell because at that point, Bitcoin might go down. Once they sell, let's say when Bitcoin was $40,000, I bought, and Bitcoin rose to $64,000. I remember there was a time last year precisely, Bitcoin was like $28,000, blah, 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 you understand? And it increased to 64. People bought and they sold at that point. If Bitcoin now drops, of course, they've made more than double of their profit. Now, if Bitcoin now drops, what do? They wait because what? That's gone down. So then what happens? When it skyrockets again, what happens? Then they go into the market as a buy. But in the Forex market, it's a different thing, class. If I show you something here, you understand why it's a different thing. Let's go to trading view. I'll use TradingView to show you something. In TradingView, my own TradingView shows me two things. It shows me the blue candle and it shows me the red candle. Now, whenever the blue candle is going up, it is an indication that buyers are coming into the market. Whenever the blue candle is coming down, it is an indication that what sellers are trying to dominate the market. Are you with me? That's what it means. Some people might use green instead of blue, but let's take a look at what I'm trying to say. Okay, while we are with that, now the next one I would like to talk about quickly is exchange rates. Okay, I think it's right. Let's just go to TradingView. When you are consistent with this class, I will show you how to make analysis and how to work with TradingView. Are you with me? Okay, why that is trying to come up? TradingView. Okay. Okay, just a minute. We're almost there. Okay, click trade. Okay. TradingView, whereby students, I want to register the receive credit my cost. That is the I think to okay, the next one I'll talk about is fundamental and technical analysis. Once that comes up, I'll show you. I promise you. Fundamental analysis is a way of looking at the forex market, analyzing economic, social, and political forces that will affect the forex market. Look at what happened earlier this year, sometime around January. As at January, Biden and Trump, they had their serious, it was a serious election in US where there was a decision that was going to be made. It's going to be Biden if it will be what Trump finally won Biden. And at that point, the market was seriously affected. That is called political forces. Economical situations. Economical forces can be exactly what happened last year. There was a total lockdown. Okay, so people are crashing out from this business. Those that know exactly what they are doing, they were using the right strategy and they are making their what? Their good money. Now, political, there's now the one thing you should always know is whenever there is a strong situation in the foreign, okay, we are back to TradingView now. Let's quickly, let me show you this. Don't worry, I know where I stopped there. I'll go back to it. I just want to show you some things here. Okay, why we are away that thing. Then technical analysis. This is a situation whereby you use your analysis to predict the market. When you predict the market with your analysis, then eventually you have a good result. A very good example of technical analysis is what we talk about, what they call it. We talk about MACD, moving average, millions percent ratio, Bollinger Band. And besides, you are using tools to predict the market. Are you with me? You are using tools, Forex tools, to predict the market. What tools are we looking at? Trend line, horizontal lines. We have a lot of lines. Fibonacci retracement. All those things is exactly what we use for as a technical analyst. I hear some people say that I'm a technical analyst. I'm not a fundamental analyst. Why can't you be both? Because when you are both, you can make analysis of the news easily, and it becomes very, very, very easy for you. I'm happy. Our TradingView has launched finally. Now, if you look at this screen, you'll notice that I will teach all of these in subsequent classes. I can't talk about that today. Look at this, you observe that you will see that I have something like blue and red candles. What this means is the blue candle simply means that buyers are dominating the market. Now let's take a very good example of what I'm saying. You look at this place so closely, you notice that the buyers, let me use my arrow. Okay, test arrow marker. If you observe, you notice that from here, the market drove up. Now look at this arrow. If you can see there's a point or their calculations being made of values. So if you look at it from here, I can easily predict which is from here upwards. You know, right now, for those that can see my screen very well, this is 0.3638. Driving it up to that blue can 0.74077. So you can see that a buy means if your indicator is right, go into the market. Don't worry, I'll talk about that in other. If you have questions, put yourself and ask them. Why we wait for this asking questions? I want to say one or two things. Class, if you are the type of person that has the mindset that the forex trader is somebody that drops $100 in the market, and with $100 you can make $900 in a day. Class, I'm not saying it is not possible, but I can assure you that if you have that motive, then take it or leave it. Your account will not be up for 2 months. Your account will definitely be on. So in other words, this is what the pattern I've been using, and it has been very okay for me. Now, the pattern is that you should trade with a very good proper risk management. Secondly, never be greedy and be patient. Somebody asked, is this a software we must have? No. TradingView is a charting software. The man just came in, that's why. TradingView is a charting software whereby, I'll talk about that in subsequent classes, whereby you make your analysis on IAP. And that analysis you make is the reason why you will profit in the Forex market. That analysis you make is the reason why you profit in the Forex market. Class, I want to say something. Please, I am recording this video. I will drop the PDF tonight before 10, and I'll also drop the recorded video. Please, I want you all to stay and always watch out for the video and recorded video. Is there any other Is there any other question for me? Is there any other question for me, please? Is there any other question for me? If there's no question for me, thank you very much. See you all tomorrow. Please don't fail to come for tomorrow's class. Same time, 8 p.m. Thank you very much. Good night. Have a lovely night. God bless you all. Thanks. Bye for now.